the late shift. I've worked the night shift at a gas station for about 3 years now. It's not glamorous, but it pays the bills, and honestly, I kinda like the quiet. From midnight to 6 a.m., maybe 3 cars come through. Most nights, it's just me, a book, and the buzzing of the fluorescent lights. This happened back in October. Slow night, raining just hard enough to be annoying. I was about an hour into my shift, scrolling through my phone, when I saw a guy walk up to the front door. Now, that's weird for 2 reasons. 1, nobody walks anywhere around here at 1 a.m. 2, we lock the doors at midnight. Night shift is window service only. There's a little sliding glass window by the register and a sign right next to it in big red letters. After midnight, use window. But this guy, he doesn't go to the window. He just stands at the front door, hands in his pockets, staring inside. I couldn't see his face well, rain on the glass, bad lighting, but I could see he was just standing there. Not trying the handle, not knocking, just standing. I waved at him and pointed to the window. No response, just standing. I figured maybe he was drunk or high or both. Happens sometimes. I went back to my phone. A minute later, I looked up and he was gone. Whatever. Probably wandered off. I forgot about it. About 20 minutes later, I heard a noise from the back of the store. Not loud, just a kind of scrape, like something being dragged across the concrete floor in the stockroom. I froze, listened. Nothing. Probably a rat. The place has rats sometimes. The owner refuses to call an exterminator because he's cheap. I told myself it was a rat, and I almost believed it. Then I heard it again, louder this time, and then footsteps. Slow footsteps, coming from the stockroom, toward the door that leads to the sales floor. I stood up behind the register, my heart already going. The stockroom door has one of those little round windows in it, and I could see something moving back there, a shadow blocking the light. The door didn't open, but the footsteps stopped right on the other side. I stared at that door for what felt like 5 minutes. Nothing, just silence and the hum of the cooler. I picked up the phone. I was going to call my manager or 911. I didn't know yet. But before I could dial, the lights went out. All of them. The store went pitch black. The only light was the faint orange glow from the streetlight outside. And then I heard it. Breathing. Not mine. Coming from somewhere in the store. Somewhere close. I dropped behind the counter. Stupid, I know. Nowhere to go. But instinct, you know? I crouched there in the dark, trying not to breathe, trying not to make a sound. And I listened. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, walking down the main aisle, past the chips, past the sodas, getting closer. They stopped, right on the other side of the counter. I could see a shape now, just the outline of a head peering over. I pressed myself against the cabinets, praying he wouldn't lean down far enough to see me. Then, a voice, low, calm, almost friendly.
I know you're there.
I didn't move, didn't breathe.
Come on out, I just want to talk.
Silence. My heart was slamming so hard, I thought he must be able to hear it. Then he laughed. Just a little chuckle, like we were sharing a joke.
You locked the door,
he said.
But you forgot about the stockroom. The delivery guys leave that one open sometimes. You should really check that.
I heard him move, walking back toward the stockroom, toward the back door. Then, nothing. I stayed behind that counter for I don't know how long. 10 minutes? 20? Eventually, I crawled out and felt my way to the front door. I got outside and ran to the gas pumps, to the little booth where we do car inspections during the day. I called 911 from there. When the cops came, they checked the whole store. No one was there. The back door was wide open, just like he said. They asked what he looked like, and I couldn't even tell them. Just a shape. Just a voice. They drove around for a while, didn't find anyone, said it was probably just a transient looking for cash, figured I'd hide and he'd get bored. Don't worry, they said. Probably won't come back. I quit 2 weeks later. Got a day job at a warehouse. Better pay, better hours. But here's the thing. Sometimes, late at night, when I'm lying in bed trying to sleep, I hear that voice. Not in my head. I remember it. That calm, friendly tone. Like he wasn't even trying to scare me. Like he was just passing the time. And I think about what he said. About the door. About checking it. He wasn't looking for cash. He was already in the store. He could have done anything, taken anything, hurt me if he wanted to. But he didn't. He just stood there in the dark, breathing, waiting. And then he left. I don't know what he wanted. I don't know why he let me go. But sometimes I wonder if he's still out there, walking around some other store, some other night, standing in the dark, waiting for someone who doesn't hide fast enough. I check my doors about 5 times before bed now, every night. And I still don't sleep great. "4 a.m. Back in college, I used to pull a lot of all-nighters. You know how it is. Finals week, too much coffee, not enough sleep, and suddenly it's 4 a.m. and you're hallucinating from staring at textbooks too long. Me and my friend Dave had been at it since like 8 p.m. the night before. Organic chemistry. F my life. By 3:30 in the morning, we were both running on fumes and we needed food. Not just any food. We needed gas station food. The bad kind. The kind that makes you question your life choices but tastes amazing at 4 a.m. So we hopped in Dave's car and drove to this little self-serve place on the edge of town. Nothing fancy, just a gas station with a small convenience store attached. The kind of place that's always open, always empty, always has that one flickering fluorescent light outside. We pulled up around 3:50. It was dead quiet. No other cars, just the hum of the pumps and that buzzing light. Dave parked and we started to get out, but then this guy walks out of the store, comes right up to us before we can even reach the door. He was the attendant, I guess, but he didn't look right. He was young, maybe mid-20s, but his eyes were, I don't know how to explain it, wide, like he hadn't blinked in hours, and he was standing weird, like he was blocking us from going inside.
"What do you need?"
he asked. Not friendly, not like a greeting, just flat. Dave said,
Fill it up with regular."
He handed the guy a $5 bill. I said, "Hey, can I get a pack of cigarettes?" I handed him another 5. The guy took the money, didn't say anything, just turned and walked back into the store. Dave looked at me.
"Weird dude."
I shrugged. It's 4 a.m. Who's normal at 4 a.m.? We waited. A minute passed, then another. I was about to go knock on the door when he came back out. He handed me the cigarettes, then he handed me change, 4 $1 bills. I took them, and that's when I noticed. The money was wet. Not like water wet, like sticky wet. And it was red. The corners of the bills were stained red, dark red. I looked at the guy. He was just standing there, staring, not blinking. I looked at Dave. Dave was staring at the money too. I didn't say anything. I just got back in the car. Dave got in and we drove off. Neither of us spoke for like a minute. Then Dave said,
"Dude, was that blood?"
"I don't know."
"That looked like blood."
"I know." We drove another mile. Then Dave pulled over at a payphone. This was before cell phones, you know. He said,
"I'm calling someone."
He called the police, told them what happened, told them where. The dispatcher said they'd send someone. We waited there by the phone for maybe 10 minutes. Then we saw a police car drive past, heading toward the gas station. We followed. Not too close. Just curious and worried, I guess. When we got there, there were already 2 more cop cars. Lights flashing, yellow tape going up. We parked across the street and watched. A cop walked over to us after a while, asked if we were the ones who called. We said yes. He asked us to come to the station, give statements. We said okay. It wasn't until we got to the station that they told us, the guy we gave our money to, the guy who handed me those bloody bills, he wasn't the attendant. The real attendant was inside, lying on the floor in the back room, dead. He'd been stabbed multiple times with a screwdriver, a long one, and beaten. His head. They didn't go into details, but I could tell from their faces it was bad. The guy we talked to, he was the one who did it. He'd been in there, alone with the body when we pulled up, and instead of hiding, instead of running, he just put on the attendant's jacket, walked outside, served us, took our money, gave us change from the register, change that was covered in the dead man's blood. I still had those dollar bills in my pocket. The police took them. Evidence, they said. For weeks after that, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that guy's face, those empty eyes, standing there at 4 a.m. like nothing was wrong, with a dead body 20 feet behind him. They caught him eventually. Took almost 20 years, but they got him. DNA from those bloody bills, the ones he handed me, they matched. But here's the thing that still gets me. When I think about that night, I don't think about the murder. I don't think about the blood. I think about how close we were, how we almost walked into that store, how if we'd gotten there 5 minutes earlier, we might have walked in on it happening. Or if we'd tried to go inside anyway, if I'd been pushy about getting my cigarettes faster. He was right there, inches away from us, and we had no idea. I don't go to gas stations at night anymore, not if I can help it. And if I do, and something feels off, if the attendant seems wrong, if their eyes are too wide, if they're blocking the door, I just drive away. Because you never know what's on the other side of that door. You never know who's really standing there, handing you your change, smiling like everything's normal, with blood still wet on their hands.
The bathroom door. I stop at the same gas station every night on my way home from work. It's on Carolina Beach Road, about 10 minutes from my apartment. Nothing special. Just a Scotchman with the usual flickering lights and the guy behind the counter who barely looks up when you walk in. I work the late shift at a diner, get off around 3 a.m. By the time I hit that gas station, it's usually 3:15, 3:20. Dead hour, nobody around except maybe one other trucker filling up. This was February 2nd. I remember the date because I almost didn't stop. I was tired. Really tired, but I needed gas and I needed the bathroom. Bad combination. I pulled up to the pump, did my card, started filling. Then I walked toward the front door to get the key for the bathroom. That's when I noticed him. A guy standing by the side of the building. White guy, brown hair, wearing one of those camo jackets. Just standing there. Not smoking, not on his phone. Just standing. Staring at nothing. I looked away. Told myself I was being paranoid. It's a gas station. People stand around. Whatever. I went inside, grabbed the bathroom key from the counter. The cashier didn't even look up. I walked back out, around the side of the building to the bathroom door. The guy in the camo jacket was gone. Good, I thought. He left. Problem solved. I unlocked the bathroom door and went in, did what I needed to do, washed my hands, checked my phone. Probably took 5 minutes max. When I opened the door to leave, he was standing right there. Not near the bathroom, right there, in the doorway, blocking me. I stepped back. He stepped forward. I said, "Excuse me?" My voice came out smaller than I wanted. He didn't say anything, just grabbed my arm, hard, started pulling me back into the bathroom. I screamed, not loud, it caught in my throat, but I screamed, and I pulled back, and he pulled harder. His grip was like iron. I remember thinking, this is it, this is how it happens, this is how you disappear. And then, I don't know where they came from. 2 guys appeared. Just regular guys, getting gas probably. One of them yelled,
"Hey, get off her."
The guy in the camo jacket let go, just like that. He turned and walked toward an SUV parked on the other side of the lot, got in, drove off, heading north on Carolina Beach Road. The two guys ran over, asked if I was okay. I wasn't okay. I was shaking so bad I couldn't stand up straight. One of them called 911. I sat on the curb and waited for the police. They came, took my statement, showed me photos. I picked him out. The camo jacket, the brown hair, the face I'll never forget. They said they'd find him. They said they had video. That was 2 weeks ago. They haven't found him. I still drive past that gas station every night on my way home. I still need gas sometimes, but I don't stop anymore. I drive an extra 10 minutes to the 24-hour place on the other side of town, the one with bright lights and people around. And every time I have to use a public bathroom, anywhere, I check the door before I close it. I text someone my location. I keep my keys in my hand. Because here's what I learned. It doesn't take much. A dark parking lot, a locked door, one person who decides you look like an easy target, and the difference between going home and not going home is just a few seconds. Just a few seconds, and two strangers who happened to be in the right place. The police asked me if I got a good look at his face. I did. I'll never forget it. But what I really remember is the grip on my arm, and the smell of his jacket, and the way the bathroom light flickered when he pulled me toward it. I don't know if they'll catch him. I hope they do. But even if they don't, I know one thing for sure. I'm never going to be that easy target again. The call at 2:30 in the morning. Back in the early 80s, I worked the night shift at a gas station in Virginia. Small town. Nothing ever happened there. That's why I took the job. My sister was supposed to work that night, but she asked me to cover for her. Trade shifts. She had a date or something. I said, sure, no big deal. I was 20 years old. Thought I was invincible. Thought nothing bad could ever happen in a place where everybody knows everybody. I was wrong. The station was one of those old school places. 2 pumps out front, a small garage for repairs, and a little office with a register and a phone, and not much else. It sat right on the main road, but at 2 a.m., that road was dead. Maybe 1 car an hour. Mostly just me, the buzzing fluorescent light, and the radio. That night started normal enough. I'd been there since midnight, did my usual routine, cleaned the counters, stocked the cigarettes, and checked the air pressure in the tires out front, just to have something to do. By 1 a.m., I was bored out of my mind. Then the phone rang. I answered. Gas station, this is Kelly? Nothing. Just breathing. Heavy, slow breathing on the other end. I said, hello? Anyone there? Click. They hung up. I shrugged it off. Wrong number. Drunk dialing. Happened sometimes. I went back to my magazine. 20 minutes later, the phone rang again. Gas station, this is Kelly. Same thing. Breathing. But this time it was faster. Heavier. Like someone was excited. Or angry. I couldn't tell. Look, who is this? Click. Now I was annoyed more than scared. Some kid messing around, probably. I made a mental note to tell the owner about it in the morning. Then I forgot about it and kept reading. Around 2:15, the phone rang a 3rd time. I picked it up, ready to yell at whoever it was. But before I could say anything, a man's voice spoke. Low, calm, like he was right there in the room with me.
I see you.
I froze. What?
I see you through the window. You're sitting at the counter. You're wearing a blue shirt. Your hair's pulled back. You look tired.
I looked at the front window, the one facing the parking lot. It was dark out there, just the glow of the streetlight and the empty pumps. I couldn't see anything, but someone could see me. I hung up. My hands were shaking. I stood up and walked to the front door, checked the lock. It was locked. Checked the windows, all closed. I looked out at the parking lot, empty. Just my car and the pumps. I told myself it was a prank. Someone who knew me. Someone messing around. But that voice didn't sound like anyone I knew. It sounded like a stranger. And he knew what I was wearing. He knew I was alone. I went back to the counter, stared at the phone, waited. 5 minutes passed, then 10. Nothing. I started to relax. Maybe he was gone. Maybe it was nothing. Then the phone rang again. I didn't want to answer. But what if it was my sister? What if something was wrong? I picked it up.
Stop hanging up on me.
The voice was different now. Harder. Angry. I said, "Who is this? What do you want?" He laughed, low and slow.
I want to talk. That's all. Just talk. You sound nice. What's your name?
"I'm not telling you my name. Leave me alone or I'm calling the police." Another laugh.
Go ahead, call them. But by the time they get here, I'll be inside.
I looked at the door again. Still locked, still closed. But the parking lot, I hadn't checked the back, the garage door, the storage room. I said, "You're not getting in. Everything's locked." He said,
You'd be surprised what I can get into.
and then he hung up. I stood there, phone in my hand, heart pounding. I should have called the police right then. I should have, but I was scared and stupid, and I kept thinking it was a joke. Kept thinking any second someone would pop out and say, "Gotcha." No one did. I grabbed the phone and dialed 911. Told the dispatcher everything. The calls, the voice, what he said about seeing me, about getting in. She said she'd send a car, told me to stay on the line. I stayed on the line. 2 minutes passed, 3, 5, and then I heard it. A knock. Not on the front door, on the back door. The one leading to the storage room. The one I forgot to check. 3 slow knocks. Then a voice muffled through the wood.
I told you I'd get in.
I dropped the phone, ran to the front door, unlocked it, burst out into the parking lot and just kept running. I ran across the street, down the road, anywhere away from that building. I don't know how long I ran. Long enough that my lungs burned. Long enough that I couldn't hear anything but my own breathing. I hid behind a dumpster behind some restaurant and waited. Eventually, I saw the police car pull into the gas station. 2 cruisers, lights flashing. I walked back, shaking, and told them everything. They searched the station. Front, back, storage room, garage. Nothing. No one. The back door was still locked. No signs of forced entry. They said maybe it was just a prank. Someone with a weird sense of humor. But here's what still gets me all these years later. When they checked the phone records, the calls didn't come from a payphone or a cell phone. They came from inside the station. From the phone in the garage. The one only employees used. Someone was in the building with me the whole time. hiding in the dark, watching me through the window, waiting. And when I was on the phone with 911, he was just on the other side of the wall, listening. They never found him, never knew who it was. The case is still unsolved. And my sister, the one who was supposed to work that night, she still doesn't know how close she came to being the one sitting at that counter, picking up the phone, hearing a voice say, "I see you." I never worked another night shift after that. And I still check the back door before I lock up anywhere. Every single time.